All of you, did you read about the journal entry in the LMS?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you answer the challenge question?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyways, I'll also go through that. We will first discuss about the what is journal entry. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Exercise. Yeah.
Sir, Aguilar is in meeting room, sir.
Yeah. I'm accepting everyone.
Okay, sir.
Now you check. Why are they joining late? See, please don't join with your device name or other name. You have to join with your official name with the registration number. All of you are able to access the TCS Ion software. You're able to access to check your attendance.
No, sir.
Yeah. All of you might have already read in the LMS regarding journal entry. Okay, what is a journal and what is a journal entry? So discuss that once again from my side. And any doubts are there, you let me know. Okay. So journal entry is a first book where you start the accounting books. The accounting books or the bookkeeping will start with the journal entry. Okay. So that is what the basics of accounting. Your accounting starts with journal entry. Okay. After that, you will have ledger. Then ledger, you prepare the trial balance, and from the trial balance, we prepare the financial statements like your P and the profit and loss account, balance sheet. Okay, all those things. So journal is a starting point of accounting. Okay, journal is a first process from where your accounting starts. Okay, many of them, the moment we say debit credit, many of them get confused. Sometimes they get afraid of that. No need to worry about that. Anyways, I will discuss each and that everyone. Okay, everything will be discussed one by one, and then I'll teach you how to pass the journal entry. So before we start that, let us understand what is journal and why it is prepared and what is the way of. Okay. So journal entry, we will discuss that. Okay. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes,
Students?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the term journal, okay, is derived from the French word jour, J-O-U-R, which means a day. Journal actually is nothing but it's a day. It is also called as a day book. That is why journal also is called as day book, okay, or a daily record. Okay, so it is a record of day-to-day transaction that takes place in a business enterprise. Okay, the day-to-day transaction, the business transactions, okay, take place in a company or a firm. Okay, so journal is a book of first entry or a virginal entry. Okay, it's called as a virginal entry because it is a first book where the transaction gets recorded. Okay, the transaction gets recorded because all transactions are first recorded in this particular book, the journal book. Is it clear? That is why it is called as a first entry or the virginal entry record of the business transaction. So the logic behind the each and every transaction, we will discuss that. It is a preliminary book for recording or providing in a chronological order. What do you mean by chronological order? In a date order. Okay, first you will write 1st October, then 2nd October, what all took place, what all transactions taken place, then 3rd October. Whereas we go date wise, that is called as chronological order, or in the order the transaction takes place. Whichever transaction takes place, first we will write that particular transaction, then the later one. Okay, in the order of date of transactions in which each transaction is recorded with relevant explanation. So every transaction you enter You might have seen the template, right? Did you see the template I gave in the LMS? Journal entry, I think it is not visible now. I'll make it visible later. Okay. So once the transaction you're writing in the journal, you have to give the explanation for that. That means what transaction is this? And that is called as narration. We have to write a narration because see somebody is reading your book, you are looking at your journal entry, they have to come to know what transaction is this. Because in the journal we write only the two accounts which are affected. For example, you sold goods to Ramu. So what you write, we write to the Ramu account data to sales account. If somebody is reading that, you can't understand what a transaction is this. So if, especially people who are not from accounting background, they can't understand. So when they read the narration, when they read narration, they will come to know, okay, this is a sales transaction. Company has sold goods to Ramu for 1 lakh rupees. Got it? That is why the narration is written. And the journal is also known as a journal proper or a general journal or a day book. So there are different names with which the journal is called. Okay. And the process of recording transactions is in a journal is known as journalizing. Okay. What is journalizing? It is the process of recording the business transactions in the journal. The journal book is known as journalizing. And transactions entered in journal are then transferred. Okay, that means we are transferring each and every account. Once a journal entry is over, we will open, for each account, we'll open a separate book called as ledger. In that ledger, we will transfer each and every transactions belonging to a particular account in the particular ledger. That is called as posting. We will post all the journal entries in the ledger. Got it? For example, say Ramu account is there in the journal. We will open Ramu account. Sales are there in the journal entry. So we will open sales ledger. Okay, like sales account, purchase account, okay, company's account. We will open for each and every account. What you see in the journal will be opened a separate ledger. They are called as accounts. Okay, sales account, purchase account, Ramu account, Benjamin account. Okay, different accounts we open, and once we open the ledger, we will transfer the particular transaction belonging to a person or to a particular nominal account or a personal account or real account. We will transfer to each respective account. Is it clear? Students, is it clear? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anything is not clear till now? Especially non-commerce students. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Journal is a first book of the business transaction. Say, for example, in a company, there are n number of transactions takes place, right, in a day. Like they do sales, they purchase raw material, they pay electricity bill, they pay wages. Okay, they do some machinery is not working. They ask a engineer to come and repair it, and they pay the money for repair. Okay, there are so many transactions that actually takes place in a business enterprise. When a transaction is taking place which has the monetary value, the transaction which you can measure in terms of money, those transactions, what we do, we will enter in the journal. Okay, so journal is a one book in which the original entry is recorded for the first time. Is it clear? One more thing I'll tell you the importance of this. Say, for example, there is any legal problems happening, or there is somebody has filed a case against your company in the court. So the court will ask you to show the journal, because journal will show the original entry. The court will not believe any of your other statements what you're showing. They will show you, okay, please bring the original entry book. That is nothing but journal. If the entry is there in that, then you will win the case. The company will win the case. Okay. So that is why it is very, very important book where a transaction, when it is taking place in the company, will be recorded for the first time. Understood, students? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hope all are awake.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
The entry enters in the journal, then later it will go to the ledger. Okay, I'll just try to show you that. I think baby sir has taught the accounting process. What is the accounting process? How does it start? First starts with journal. Okay, and then this whatever we write there, we classify them into ledger. After preparing ledger, we prepare what? Trial balance. Once the trial balance is over, what we do? We prepare the final account. What is final account? Your profit and loss account, then balance sheet, then balance sheet. Okay. So this will become your, where we do the analysis and interpretation. Okay. So journal entry is taken place first, and then after writing in the journal entry, we classify them into separate account, that's called ledger, and then we prepare from the ledger balances, we prepare trial balance. And after trial balance is over, we prepare final account. They are nothing but they are called as financial statements. They are nothing but financial statements, where we write the profit and loss account. Now we call it as the income statement, and then balance sheet. Okay, and then after that we do the analysis and interpretation. This is your accounting process. Is it clear? Any doubt, students?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So the logic behind journal entry is to record every transaction. At least accounts will be there. For example, when you generate a sale for cash, that means you're selling your product of your company. So what are the two accounts will be generating? One is your revenue account, it's called sales account or revenue account. And then when you're selling for cash, so cash is coming in, so cash account. So sales account and cash account. Or for example, you're buying goods on account, this increases both your accounts payable. When you're buying on account means you're buying on credit. When I'm buying, that means purchases. So the inventory account and the accounts payable account will be affected. Okay. And normally when you write a transaction in the journal entry, it will be having at least two accounts or two lines you can see in the journal entry. When there are more than two accounts or more than two lines you are writing in a journal entry, then it is called as compound entry. Is it clear? Anyways, when it comes, I'll show you how to write the simple entry. Simple entry means minimum two transactions. Compound entry means it will be more than two. It may be 3, 4, or 5. Okay. And in a journal entry, at least two accounts will be impacted, as I said, right? You take any transaction, there are two accounts which will be impacted. One will be debited, one will be credited. Okay. So the total of debit and credit of any transaction must always be equal to each other. This I think you already know, right? That is why accounting equation we have started with. In accounting equation, what you are seeing? Yeah. What was happening in accounting equation? Our assets are always equal to liability.
Liability.
Okay, so that is your American okay accounting, but this one is the British accounting where our asset should be your debit should be equal to your credit. Okay, then only your account is called it is in balance. When it is not equal, it is called imbalance. Okay, when if it is imbalance, you cannot prepare financial statements. What are your financial statements?
P&L and balance sheet.
Yeah, profit and loss account or
Balance sheet.
yeah, income statement and balance sheet. You can't prepare. Okay, if your debit and a credit is not equal, you can't prepare your trial balance. Your trial balance will not tally. I told no trial balance also should tally. Then only you prepare the final account. Is it clear? So everyone, everything is having.
Excuse me, sir.
If journal entry is not proper, your ledger will be not be proper. If ledger is not proper, trial balance will not tally. If trial balance is not tally, your balance sheet also will not tally. Got it? That is why this process has to be taken care. The process has to be very, very carefully taken care. Is it clear?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, excuse me, sir. One person is in waiting room, sir. He has network issues. He's getting disconnected frequently. Joel.
Yeah. Joel and Jetlin, no?
Yeah,
Both are. Yeah. I made them to enter. Okay. Is it clear? So that is why every book, whatever you prepare is very, very important. If you're not preparing properly, your balance sheet will not tally. That's why you can see now many people say my balance sheet is not tallying. That means my asset is not equal to my liabilities. Okay. Yeah. This finishes your theory part. We will go for the exercise now. Before we go to exercise, any doubt, students? Anybody has any doubt regarding whatever we discussed now? Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So shall we go to the exercise 1? I told everyone to write down no exercise. I will written.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you on your video and show? Few people I'll be calling randomly. I want you to on your video and show the notes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. For exercise, I thought I would do exercise in the Excel or the spreadsheet. Okay. Yeah. So now, what is given here? The question. The question is, they're asking you to. They are given some accounts. You all of you know, right? What are the 3 accounts? I think Devi sir already covered this. No, that's why I'm not talking about that. You want me to brush on that? You already understood, right? 3 types of account. What are the 3 types of account?
Personal, real, and nominal.
Nominal.
Personal,
Real and nominal.
Real and nominal.
real account,
Nominal account.
then nominal account. I think all of you know this. I think Devi sir has already taught this. I think sir has already put the notes also in the LMS. Please read. So what is personal account? Personal account is this account belongs to a person. Like I write say Ramu account. Okay. Or we write say Joseph account. Okay. That means you can see the person name there. Okay. So this is called personal account. Okay. Ramu account or the person name you write, that becomes a personal account. Again, in personal account, we have 3 types of accounts, right? What are those? What is first one? Yeah. I think I'll share once again just to brush you up. If you don't know this, then you cannot understand what our exercise I'm doing. You remember or not?
So natural, artificial, and representative.
Yeah. 1 minute, and let me brush it up, or else. Yeah. Can you see types of account? Personal and impersonal account. And again, impersonal account, we divide them into real account and nominal account. Okay. So personal account, which is actually belong to a person. Okay. Any person name you see, for example, you can see here Kumar's account or Adam's account, etc. Okay. So this personal account, we divide them into three types again. That is called natural person. When you see a human being's name, okay, Kumar, Geeta, Sarita account, okay, Elizabeth account, that means what? It is a natural person. So natural person account, when you see the name of the person, you can identify, okay, this is a person. Okay, the second one we have, that is called artificial person account. What is artificial person account? This person is not a natural person, is not a human being, but it is a person which is actually identified by the law. Okay, because it is being approved by the law, and the law says this is a person. So anything which is created by the law is called as a artificial person. Like for example, company. A company is created by law. The moment you start a company, you are creating the company. Okay, that means that you are creating a person in terms of the law. So it can be a person, it can be companies or institutions, clubs, associations or schools, anything which is registered, okay, in the law, it becomes a artificial person. Is it clear? For example, you take Krishna Jayanti College. What is this account? Vilasa account. Is it personal or artificial person?
Artificial.
Artificial.
Yeah, because it is a
Organization.
trust. Krishna Jayanti College is a trust which has been registered in the law. Got it? So any company or a firm or a club, school, okay, anything you come across, they are called artificial personal account. Then we have one more personal account, it is called representative personal account. So this account, indirectly, it represents another person, okay, for whom this account is being maintained. Okay, for example, you say outstanding wages. So we write it as outstanding wages account. Why it is a personal account? Because it shows the wages are outstanding to one person. Which person is that? That particular person to whom wages is not paid. Okay, or the wages is paid in advance. Okay, so any advance account or any outstanding account, they are called as representative personal account because it has been maintained for a person to whom the wages is not paid or the wages is outstanding. Okay, it represents a certain person or a group of person directly or indirectly. Okay, so wages outstanding account, prepaid insurance account. Again, why insurance account is a personal account? Prepaid insurance account. Normally, insurance is taken for a person. It can be a natural person like you and me, or it can be a artificial person, nothing but your company. Okay, company also they take a insurance. So that is why it is called representative personal account. That means for whose insurance account you are paid in advance or prepaid. Okay, an advance interest paid to somebody or accrued salaries. Okay, all these are the examples of representative personal account. So this account is very, very important. Many students get confused. So please understand. If you're not understanding, please let me know. Okay, so representative personal account. So natural person, that is very easy to identify. If you see a natural person name, a human being's name, you can find out, okay, is a natural person. Any company name you see, for example, Hindustan Unilever Limited, that means it is artificial person. Okay, and then representative personal account for whom this account is being maintained. Which account which will directly or indirectly represent a person. Okay, so example I given there, wages outstanding account. That means wages are outstanding to so and so person. This account is maintained for them. Okay, and the prepaid insurance account, advance interest account, and accrued salaries. Okay, the accrued salary means what? You are earned the salary, but it is not paid to you. cash is not yet come to your account, but you already earned the salary. That is called accrued salary. Clear? Understood? Personal account, students?
Yes, sir.
Natural person,
Yes, sir.
artificial person, and representative personal account. These three accounts come under personal account. Is it clear? And what is the rule for this? Debit the receiver and credit the giver. Clear? So actually we call them as the golden rules of accounting. Why? Because they are worth like a gold. You know, gold is so precious, right? If you don't know these particular rules, you cannot do accounting. You cannot write any books of account on which the entire accounting is based. Clear? So all of you should know, memorize these accounts. Even somebody is asking you in the midnight, is able to tell this. Clear? Somebody asks, okay, tell me the personal account rule. You should immediately say, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Understood, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think common students may be already knowing this, but non-common students, please memorize these accounts, rules of accounting. Okay, for every account we have a different rule. Okay, so for personal account it is called debit the receiver, credit the giver. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, example the thing
Yes,
we
sir.
when you discuss in the exercise time, I will show you that. Okay, and then real account is mainly maintained for assets. Okay, it's the assets account. Any asset it can be tangible or intangible. What do you mean by asset? Okay, like for example, land, building, okay, is an asset to the company. It can be computers, it can be printing, printer, okay, anything which is an asset. Okay, for that we record in the books of account. It is called real account. It can even be intangible, like goodwill, brand name, patent, trademarks. Okay, all these are called intangible assets. So real account represents the tangible and intangible accounts. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Example, cash. Cash is what account? Personal or real account?
Real account.
Real.
Cash is a
Asset.
asset. Remember, I think when we discussed the theory of accounting equation, I discussed cash is a current account. So cash, inventory, that is as much stock, machinery, land, building, all these are the tangible assets. And intangible assets, patent, goodwill, trademarks, all that. So what is the rule for the real account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. For example, when you're purchasing a land, so land is coming in. So land account you have to debit. For example, you're selling the land. So land is going out. So you have to credit the land account. Got it? So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Clear? Is it easy? Difficult to memorize the rule?
No, sir.
Students?
No.
They're very simple, okay? They're very simple. One thing to understand, this rule is for which account? The moment the account you remember, okay, real account means assets. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And then nominal account. What is nominal account? It is mainly kept for expenses, losses, income, and gain. Any expense you are having, for example, you are repairing your machinery. So repair is the expense. So it's a nominal account. Salary. For the company, salary is an expense. For you, it may be income, but for the company, it is an expense. Always remember one thing, you're writing the account for the company. When you're writing the account, always remember you're not writing for yourself. You're not writing for the employees. You're not writing for the creditors or debtors. You're writing for the company. So in terms of company, always you should see what is this is an expense or income for the company. So salary is an expense, purchase is an expense, and sales, when I'm selling, it is an income. When I'm selling my land, it's a gain. Got it? So any expense, income, gain or loss you are having, that comes under what account? Nominal account. Is it clear? So nominal accounts are those accounts which will represent the either the expense the company is doing, or the losses company has incurred, or the revenue or the income company has gained. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
That will not be the real existence. You cannot see the physical form. Okay. So let us see. Understood nominal account, students? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So what is the rule for nominal account? Debit all expenses and loans. Say for example, any expense you incurred, for example, salary you have paid. So debit salary account. You have paid say electricity bill, debit the electricity bill account. Okay, any losses, say loss because of the fire. So debit that account. So any loss or expenses you come across in any business transaction, that account you have to debit. And in any transaction, if you come across income, say for example, sold goods to Ramesh, 1 lakh rupees. So it's a sales account. So sales account you have to what? Debit or credit? Sales is an income. So you have debit or credit?
Credit, sir.
Any
Credit, sir.
sales also credit. Is it clear? So when it comes to salary account, you debit. It comes to sales account, you credit. Because salary is expense, sales is an income. Are you getting it? You know, so I'll help
Yes,
you how
sir.
to identify the accounts, how to apply these rules in the exercises, what we're doing. That is why I'm doing the exercises, and then only we'll go to the passing the journal entry. Directly, if you go to journal entry, you can do it. Okay, is it clear? So debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. So anybody I'm asking, you should be able to tell that. So in the next class, we will do that. The next class, I'll take your oral test. Suddenly I'll ask somebody to randomly tell the rule of some account. Everybody should, okay, memorize this. Is it clear? Shall we do it next class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is
Yes,
it
sir, we
clear?
can do, sir.
Personal account, real account, nominal account. Any doubts? Any doubt you have? Anything you want to clarify before we go to the exercise? Students? Because this is very, very fundamental. If you don't understand this, then remaining things all will get confused. And many backlogs we see in accounting exam. Many people fail in accounting exam. Okay, so I don't want anyone to fail in your batch. Any doubt? I think all these notes, babies are already put in the LMS. Kindly please read. Okay, especially if you are from non-commerce background, please read. Okay, so now we have gone through the accounts. Now shall we classify them? Okay. Now I will be asking randomly a person to any one person to tell, and then you can tell. I don't want anyone others to answer. So if you all are asking, it will become a mass answer. I don't want that. Okay. So what did you do? You will explain now. You have to tell whether this account is a personal account, real account, or nominal account. Okay. And then you should tell me the reason also. Why it is a real account, why it is a personal account, why it is a nominal account. It's a very simple exercise. Shall you do it now?
Yes, sir.
I'll call randomly some people. You have to unmute and then you have to tell me that. Is it clear? Yeah. Abhi John, can you
Sir,
unmute?
yes, sir. Tangible asset,
Yeah.
because its value can be measured.
Fixed account is what account? Personal, real, nominal.
Real account.
It is a real account. Why?
Real account. Tangible asset of a business whose value can be measured.
Yeah. Furniture is a real account because it is a asset. Furniture is what to the company, it is an asset. Okay. So what should be the reason?
Because tangible asset
It is
whose
an asset.
business
It is an
measured
asset.
in terms of money.
Yeah. So all of you please keep writing down. Simultaneously, please write in your notes as we discuss one by one. Understand now how to write? Type of account you write is a real, personal, or nominal, and give the reason why it is a real account. It is a real account because furniture is an asset. It is an asset account. Okay. Yeah. Next, Swati. Can you unmute,
Yes,
ma?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Salary account. What account is
Sir,
it? Personal, real, nominal?
sir, salaries account, it is a nominal account.
It is a nominal account is correct. Why it is a nominal account?
Because if we talk about the rule of the nominal account, it's debit all expenses and credit all gains. So, yes.
Okay. Yeah, but still I'm not satisfied with your answer, your reason. Rule says okay, correct. But rule doesn't say salaries, no. Why salary is a nominal account? Yeah, Sudhakar, can you give the reason for why salary is a real account? Sudhakar, can you unmute?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Salary
Your commerce
because
background, non-commerce background.
non-commerce background, sir.
Okay, good. Please try.
Salary, I think so it's debit, sir.
That's correct. Why it is salary is a real account? You can guess, no problem. Salary is what? Is it a person or is it a asset or is it a expense?
It's expense, sir.
Yeah.
Expense.
Now you understand? Salary is an expense. That is why it is a real. It's a sorry. Salary is a
Expense.
yeah. It's an expense. So it is a nominal account because it is an expenditure for the company. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yeah, and whenever you see any expense like salary, wages, okay, repairs or electricity bill, water bill, any bills they are paying, all that comes under nominal account. Okay. So what do you write? It's an account of an expense. Okay, write down account of an expense because salary is an expense. Clear? Next one is outstanding wages account. I'll choose someone. Yeah, 1 minute. Jojo. Jojo, can you unmute?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So can you guess outstanding wages account is a personal, real, nominal account?
It is a nominal account.
Nominal account, why?
Uh,
No, your voice is breaking. Can you go to the Joel Paul? Joel,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Outstanding wages is what account? Personal, real, nominal.
It's a nominal account.
Why nominal account?
So because it's intangible.
Okay. Nominal account is wrong answer.
So outstanding.
Sir, would it be a personal account?
Who is that?
Yes, sir. It's a personal account.
Who is telling that? Jacqueline, yeah. Can you explain why it is a personal account? What type of person is it?
So the account represents the accounts of all the persons, sir. Outstanding wages, no, sir.
Yes, sir, it's representing persons.
Yeah. Outstanding wages, as we said, is correct. It is a personal account. What type of person is that? Is it a natural person, representative person, or is it a artificial person?
Representative person.
It is representative.
representative
It
person.
depends the person to whom the wages are outstanding, to whom the company has to pay. So the answer is it is a personal account. Outstanding wages, outstanding salary, okay, accrued salary, all these are personal accounts. And what a person is that? That is a representative personal account. It is a representative personal account. Okay, it is a representative personal account representing a person to whom wages have to be paid. The person has already worked for the company but is not paid. It is called representative personal account. Understood, students? So
Yes, sir.
account is very, very important. If you don't identify properly, you can't apply the generalizing rule. You can't write the journal entry properly. So first, please understand how to identify the account. Then we can do the applying the rule of account. Okay. Next one, National Trading Company Limited account. Rani is there. Rani, can you unmute?
Yes, sir.
Rani Brigita. National Company Limited.
Sir,
Is it personal, real, or nominal?
sir, I think it's personal account.
Okay. Again, in personal,
Personal account.
natural, artificial, or representative?
Artificial,
Why artificial?
sir. So because it's company limited, like it's
Yeah. It is also a personal account. It's correct. And it is a artificial person because it has been created by law. It is created by law. You can write it. It is created by law. Hope all of you are writing down. Please write down in your notes. I will not share this Excel. Please write down. Okay. Next is we will call someone. Robbie. Kindly unmute. Stationery account. Stationery means your A4 size paper, pen, scale, eraser, all that what they buy for official work, administration work. That is called stationery. So we have a separate account called stationery account. Can you guess whether it is a personal or nominal account?
Nominal account,
It's a nominal account. Why?
sir, because it's an expense to the company.
Very good. Stationery is an expense. Stationery is not an asset. Some people understand it is a real account because they think it is an asset. No, because the paper, whatever you are purchasing, you will not live, be with the company for a long time. The moment you write, it will be used up. Maybe in one day it will get over. Okay, so it is only nominal. It's an expenditure. Stationery is already treated as a expenditure. So it is a nominal account because it's an account of an expense. Stationery is an expense. You buy a pen, eraser, pencils, all that is a stationery. Clear? So stationery is always treated as an expense. Clear, students? Any doubt? Anybody has any doubt? Please stop. Please stop me and ask me the doubt. Any doubt till now? Am I going very fast?
No, sir.
Okay. Next one is prepaid insurance account. Prepaid insurance account. I'll tell the name, one person. Neeraj. Neeraj, can you?
Yes, sir.
What is this? Personal, real, nominal?
So prepaid is a real account, so because it is an asset.
What is an asset?
So prepaid insurance.
Okay.
It's an asset, so it will be under real account.
No, your answer is wrong. Anybody else?
So is it personal account?
Personal account.
Telling that
So it's representative personal account.
it is a representative personal account. I'm telling no, please don't think about your American accounting. We are doing British accounting. Okay, your in accounting equation. Okay, you can say that is a asset. But here it is not an asset. It is only asset for a time being. It is a temporary asset. But the nature wise, it is a personal account because the insurance which is being prepaid, the insurance is taken for whom? It is taken for a person. It can be a natural person or it can be a artificial person. That is why anything which is prepaid, the expense which is for a person, that is called as a personal account only. Okay. So it is a personal account. It is a representative personal account. Okay. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. Next one is very easy one. Jacob 2084. Jacob.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
You
is
are a
it personal account?
student.
Is it a personal account?
Capital account. Okay. What is the reason?
The company is an artificial person.
Company is an artificial person. Okay. Is it an artificial person or natural person?
Artificial, sir.
No, no. Capital account is not artificial person.
So it's natural.
Okay, it's a
Natural
proprietor.
owner, no?
Is it indicating the proprietor, sir?
Yeah, so proprietor is a person.
It's a natural person, sir.
Yeah, it is a natural personal account. It is a natural personal account. It represents what? Owner. I didn't write that, you write down. It represents the proprietor or owner. And owner is a natural person. All of you write down. It represents proprietor or owner's account. And owner is a natural person. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Next, Gayatri, interest account. Gayatri, can you unmute? I'll tell you what is interest. For example, you are taking a bank loan for the.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Once you take a bank loan, you have to pay interest to the bank every year, every month. Okay, that account is this. So interest account is what? Personal, real, or nominal?
It's a nominal account
Why nominal account?
because it's an expense.
Because it is a
Expense.
company. Very good. It is a nominal account. All of you write down. Because it is an expense. Next, two 2069.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is the building account?
Real account
Real. Why real account?
because it's an asset.
Because building is an asset.
Yeah.
Got it? So building is a real. It's a tangible asset. That's why it is a real account. So right, building is a tangible asset. Next, not able to see your names. I'm able to see only the number. 1011 Anthony. Purchase account. Purchase account. Anthony, can you unmute? Yeah, purchase account. Maisie. Maisie, can you unmute?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a nominal account
It's a nominal account. Why?
because purchase is an expense, sir.
It is a nominal account.
Expense.
Yeah, it is a nominal account. It is an expenditure because you're purchasing what? You're purchasing the goods. You're purchasing the raw material or goods. Next, Ritvik, cash.
It's a real account
Why real?
because it's asset for the company.
It is a
Asset.
cash. What asset?
Sorry, sir.
Tangible, intangible.
Sir, tangible.
Yeah, cash is a real asset. Okay. Then next 2078 bank account. 2078. Who is that? Your name is not visible for me. Can you tell me bank account? Two 2078. Are you there in the class? Two 2078. Is it Blessy? Yeah, Blessy, Annie. Are you there in the class? Hello? Okay, Jackson. Jackson. Yeah, quickly, you are already running out of time. Jackson. Sharon.
Sir,
Sharon.
Jackson is having internet issue. He texted me a while ago that maybe sir will call my name. Then please tell him that my mic is not working properly.
Who?
Jackson, sir, Jackson.
Okay. Yeah, Sharon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me the bank account one.
It's a real account, sir.
Pardon?
It's a real account
Why?
because we're saving money in the bank.
Okay. No, that's the wrong answer.
Personal account.
Rakesh. Personal real.
So it's personal account.
Yeah, bank account is always opened in the name of a person, no? It is not opened in the cash account or in the asset account. Clear? Always bank account represents what? A person. So it is a personal account. Clear? So bank account is a person whose account. It can be artificial person or it can be natural person. If you're opening a proprietor name, it is a natural person. If you're opening a bank account in the name of a company, that becomes artificial person account. Clear? So bank account represents a person, and bank account is always opened in a person name. Yes or no? When you go to a bank, they'll open in your name only, right? They'll not open in your asset account, in asset name. Clear? Always bank account is for a person. Next, the sales account. Can someone tell me?
Nominal account.
Nominal account.
Sales is a nominal account.
Nominal account.
Expense and losses, sir.
Why it is a nominal?
Because it's expense and loss.
Because it's an expense.
Yeah.
Because it's an income.
So it is an income.
Revenue.
Next one. Commission advance. Sanoj, can we have your answer?
Commission received in advance is a nominal account.
No, wrong. Alfin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is your answer? Commission received in advance is nominal, real, or personal?
Nominal.
No, wrong.
Representative account.
Why is it? Yeah. Why is it?
It's time up, sir.
Representative.
Yeah, we'll stop it by this last.
Yes,
It
sir.
represents the person to whom commission is paid in advance. If it is only commission is given, commission account, then it is nominal. The moment it is received in advance or prepaid or outstanding, any suffix or prefix are given, then what happens? It becomes a representative personal account. Understood? Okay. So today, please, all of you, please go back and read again the material in the LMS is given about each and every account. Please read, and then we will continue in the next class. Okay. So any other doubts, students? Anything you want me to ask before we wind up? Yeah. Anything else?
No, sir.
Wind up the class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Completed your assignment. Please complete it immediately.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so Monday start exercises. Okay. So thank you once again for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.